Hello and welcome to Through the Mist with me, your host Owen. This is a void and verse theory podcast where we will look at the law and try to understand how it all works. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the Mist versus the Daut. Episode 2, welcome back. Woohoo! So welcome back to Through the Mist. How are you all guys doing? I'm doing fine personally, having a wonderful blast trying to sort this all out and doing all this research. It's great fun. Just a quick shout out to Half Blood Report because they shouted out to me, and just so everyone's aware, I may have confused Diego slightly. So I'm not actually Welsh, but I just may have confused him slightly by sending him a Welsh flag emoji. Good thing he knew what that was, eh? Big up Wales. Yeah. So this is the part where I was thinking I would talk about your email and your thoughts and discussions on the last episode or however many episodes back. Just if there was a thought you had or information you want to put in about the theory that we talked about last week. Last time wasn't really a week ago, was it? Come on, it's like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, but I got no emails, got no correspondence whatsoever. So I'm sad. So if you missed the end of the last episode, if you have any thoughts on this episode once you listen to it, or even next episode, you can email them to through.t.mist@gmail.com, or even just, I've got my DMs open on Instagram, so if you could even just pop over there and DM me at through_mist is the handle. So if you want to come find us there, you can follow us and you'll have some sort of idea of what's going to happen next, I guess. I don't know. Let's just get on with the theory then, eh? So today, talking about the Mist versus the Daut, or the Daut, or whatever it's called. I'm not really sure. I pronounce it Daut because I'm bad at reading things, I think. Well, that's a good place to start, really. So what is the Daut? We'll start with the Daut first. It's a magical dimension that lives beneath the mortal realm, and magicians in the books have the ability to manipulate and travel through it. Fun, isn't it? That's just good old fun, that is. So that's a basic idea of the Daut. We might come back to that in a later episode, but the Daut is very much more based in mythological text and history, I guess, but it's not really history, than the Mist. The Mist is, I believe, something more created for the book specifically. And what is the Mist? Well, the Mist is a magical veil that tricks the mortal eyes into seeing different to the truth, and it can be manipulated by sorcerers, gods, and some talented demigods. I was about to say magician, like Thalia, however you say it. And glamour in the Magnus Chase books is basically identical to the Mist and has no discerning features, unlike the Daut. So, my initial idea for this was I was gonna talk through, and I came up with this idea to compare the two and look at how they intersect and how much different they were and stuff like that. But as I just started to go through it all, I realised that they're actually just more. The Daut is more like the Mist plus some. So instead of, it's not really a versus episode, unlike the title says, I think it's a better name, really, just try to get that clickbait. We're going to just look how they're linked and what makes sense for them. I will try and stay away from spoilers, but I think the biggest spoiler is going to be for demigods and magicians, and then some minor spoilers, Who and Toa. But most of it isn't going to spoil the story. You just might go, oh, that's where that happens. Cool. Thanks, Owen. Right then, this is much more rambly than last time. So the big reveal, big climactic that clumps us all together comes from demigods and magicians, the crown of Ptolemy, that short story within the sections. And it is when Percy is inhabited by God, then when Percy gets inhabited by Necabet, sees and understands what he's looking at, sees the dawn and understands what he's looking at, and he realizes that the mist is the Greek name for the uppermost layer of the dawn. So this means that all the deities within the universe are connected to some way with the dawn, doesn't it? It's like, because the Egyptian gods reside in the dawn. How does so it does this? It opens a lot of questions. This answer opens a lot of questions. I feel like it opens more than it answers, really. Like how do the gods work? How are the Greek gods? Are the Greek gods connected to the dawn? Is the dawn part of the manifestation of mortal consciousness? How does it all? But we're not going to go into that. I think that's another episode. Since today we're specifically looking at the mist versus the dawn, or how they compare and how they link together, I think it'll be fun just to see if we can answer some questions about the Pojo books by using the Daunt as our basis and how they connect to the Kane Chronicles. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about some of those thoughts that I had and how it all links up together. Right then, first one. Visions in dreams can be explained due to Egyptian souls. So, the fact that demigod dreams exist, it's kind of just, it's clearly, in the original books, it's clearly a plot device to help us know things that we wouldn't know otherwise, give Percy a way to know things that, and hint at things such as the Cronus dreams in the pit, in the first book. In the Egyptian, soul is broken up into like 5 parts, I think, and part of this soul is called the Ba, and within the Kane Chronicle books, it's this part that when you're falling asleep, this part flies away and you go off and have visions through the future, through the past, and it's this part that gives you these visions. And that's quite cool, isn't it? So kind of retroactively gave you a reason for demigod dreams because they are part god. They are linked to the mist in greater ways in this world, I guess, this magical world. That then maybe their Ba goes off and has a vision, and can go flying and floating around, and that's how also people can detect it because it's part of their soul is actually physically there, and we know, and I believe in the Kane Chronicle books, the Ba can be manipulated, and the dreams can be manipulated within the Pojo books as well. You see Nico do this within the Heroes of Olympus series. You see him do it 100%. He's definitely manipulating his dreams. It's kind of hinted at in Pojo as well that he does this, and you could say that because of this Ba, you have demigod dreams, and I think that's quite cool. That you kind of have this retroactive answer to a question that was never really there, but hey, he did it somehow. Managed to pull that one off, isn't it? Next thing we're going to look at is how gods and monsters know the names of the demigods. So this is again linked to the different aspects of the soul within Egyptian mythology, and the shoot or person's shadow, and it's the part of the Egyptian soul that reflects how they have affected in the mortal world. So it knows everything about them, and it's your deepest secret. It's like it is your backup soul as well, effectively. The thought I have is that maybe gods and monsters are able to read into and look into the shoot of someone, because they can know almost everything about them instantly, especially the gods. And in Toa, in the first book, the House of Oracle, Hidden Oracle. I've just got acronyms in front of me. The Hidden Oracle, Apollo states that gods can look into a soul and glean the knowledge about the person. So are they gleaming into the shoot part of the soul? And maybe monsters have this kind of ability as well. Or maybe they have to train for it, but they can't see all the way through, so they can see some basic information, like the demigod's name, and maybe their parentage, or is parentage part of that stupid spell that the daughter of Hecate put on the entire demigod race because she hates everyone. I can't remember now. Is the parentage from smell? Do they smell like the sea god? How does it work? Let me know. We'll talk about it next episode, maybe. as I said at the start, I think, of this section, I have questions as well. The dawn is the home of all magic, is it? Because that's where. So, are Egyptians the first gods because they live in the dawn? The idea of the other worlds, like the other mythological worlds, are like the gods born from the dawn? Are they manifestations of like mist forms, which we know do exist, like humanoid looking things, and that's due to the sun of magic? Is the god's true form? Is that like looking really deep into the mist and like it overwhelms any mortal and they just explode? Or no, they don't explode. We know they don't explode, but they do die. Like, how does that? That doesn't make sense, does it? I don't know. It's the questions I have. It's the questions I have that I can't answer because I'm not 100% clever enough to figure this out. It's just these are thoughts. The other one is the other thought I have, which is a kind of more of just a cool idea than a thought. Can Greeks or Vikings, can they access lower layers of the dawn? If the mist is the uppermost layer, can they access lower layers of the dawn? Like, is the labyrinth, for example, it sits just beneath the world? Is it actually? Are they actually walking into the dawn? Are they entering the dawn on a different plane of existence? Like, because Sadie in Demigods and Magicians, she's able to leave the main physical world and flying through a different layer of the dawn. So the debris doesn't hit her when she meets up with Annabeth for the first time in that story. I can't remember which one that's called. It's because it's just sitting beneath the labyrinth. Are they actually walking into the dawn? Because we know the labyrinth can be manipulated and perceived because of the mist. Hazel does it multiple times. She brings the labyrinth to the surface, and it's all part of her sorceress powers with the mist. So is the labyrinth just another part of the dawn? I think that's a great question. I'm going to say I believe so. But what do you think? Let us know. Remember to let us know. So, yeah, that's kind of everything I have on this. This took a lot more research because it's a lot more whimsical, and I get that, but that's what theories are. Sometimes they're not going to have very obvious paths to follow, but it's all fun and games to listen to, figure out, and I want this to become more of a discussion. So please do send your thoughts through and we can try and discuss them together and collaborate our ideas and come up with headcanons we all love and can agree on. Or maybe not agree on, but we can pick and choose what headcanons we like. That's the fun of headcanons. Yeah, so to wrap up what we've just talked about, because it's quite a lot really. The basics are the mist and the dawn are related and are not separate entities. Identities, they are the same, they are one and the same. The mist is part of the dawn, so the dawn is the overall thing, because the mist forms the uppermost layer of the dawn, and so there's so much more. We could come back to this topic in a later episode. We could dive specifically into the mist in a later episode, specifically into the dawn in a later episode, but please send your ideas through, and if I get enough, we can collate them all and go, ooh, here's a fun episode to talk about. We'll probably talk about the Mist and Daut again. Yeah, they're big parts of this world, aren't they? Yeah, so thank you for indulging this theory. If you have any comments on this theory, or theories of your own what you want to discuss, remember to send them through the email through.t.mist@gmail.com, or you can follow on the Instagrams @_mist. Remember to follow this podcast, do all the things, like, rate, subscribe, whatever it is you want, whatever the thing does. And I've been Owen. Come by next time to try to see through the mist. Boom. You did it, Ozone. Busted. Done.